Hello, this is RICKY, the Android guy. Hey guys, today I'm bringing you a side by side comparison between the iPad Pro and the Galaxy Tab S2. Which one is the better productivity tablet for you? These are very two different tablets, but they're both going for productivity. The iPad Pro definitely made waves by having a bigger tablet, huge screen size, and just a very different style of a screen, really. Just the 4:3 aspect ratio on this kind of screen is really peculiar. It just looks a bit odd. And the reason they did it was so that you would have split screen and it would be essentially the size of like an iPad mini on each side. Now, with the Galaxy Tab S2, it's started making waves with its productivity, especially since it comes to full Microsoft Office for free. Now, when we compare these two, iPad definitely has to be commended for having split screen finally. So now they have the ability to have two apps up at the same time. So if you're browsing Safari, you can swipe over, similar to how, actually, funny enough, the Tab S and past Samsung tablets did it with the swipe over, and then you can pull it down and have the ability to open up your apps. Now, there is a decent amount of apps, but really a lot do not work, especially for the full middle to middle split screen. Some will work on the basic side to side, as in where you have the majority of the screen taken up 3/4 versus 1/4, but not all of them will be able to actually fit split this way. So that is just one thing that I wish we could see more of, and just more apps in general. Now, to be fair, Apple has already done a good amount. I have about 24 apps or 25 apps on here that have split screen, whereas on Samsung, that's had this for years, I have about 20 or about 27 or so that have split screen capability as well. So it's really just something that I think manufacturers need to concentrate on more to get developers to work on their split screen capability. And the thing is some of them don't work on both, which is just really weird. You know, if you have an app like Google Maps, why wouldn't that work on split screen on here when it does on here? Or if you have Office, why wouldn't that work on when it works on split screen here and not here? It's just really peculiar things like that that it doesn't make sense. Develop all apps to have the capability of split screen. I can see games not being necessary for it, but every app I feel should do this automatically. Now, overall, which one is a better productivity tablet? Well, both you need a keyboard case for to really make them productivity tablets, because let's face it, the keyboard on both these aren't that impressive for typing up a full document. On the iPad Pro, you have a $169 keyboard case that connects through a magnetic dock and really is a great all-around keyboard case in terms of covering it up. With the Galaxy Tab S2, we have reviewed the keyboard case on there, and the one thing that you have to give it credit for is not only is it $20 cheaper at $149, but this one has a trackpad, whereas this one does not. Now, in terms of having a stylus that's unique to themselves, well, on the iPad Pro, you have the Apple Pencil. I had to make sure not to call it stylus, sorry, Apple Pencil, for it here, and it comes in at $99. For Samsung, you can get what's called the C Pen, which is a thin tip stylus that is not pressure sensitive, though. That's the one thing that you have to keep in mind. It's not pressure sensitive, but it does double as an actual pen and doesn't need to be recharged. Now, that is just a very narrow tip stylus that is so narrow tip that it can't work on any other tablet but Samsung devices. So each of them have a stylus offering, but for the stylus, the iPad would definitely take it for the more better stylus functionality. So when it comes to keyboard, Samsung wins it. When it comes to the ability to have a stylus, Apple wins it. Now, what about in terms of everything else? What about sound quality? What about screen quality? Well, that is always a bit of a difference between these two. So when we go to the overall screen quality between these two, we'll notice that the iPad is obviously the much bigger screen, but in terms of actually looking better, this is where Samsung still sticks out a little bit more, where it just has a better overall looking. screen. On all of these shots, you can just see that Samsung, the blacks are black, the greens are green. Everything is actually just more vibrant and stands out. And overall, that's what you want when you want to watch videos. You want the ability to have a great video quality overall. Now, what if you want to do pop-up? Well, both of these have the ability to minimize their screens to only take a portion with their videos. So that's really helpful. So again, very productivity kept in mind with both of these two tablets. Now, what about sound quality? Well, overall, when it comes to sound quality, these two are some of the best, but you have to give it overall to the iPad Pro for just having an amazing sound quality. It really does stand out. So that when you listen to a song, it really just has no comparison. When you play a song on here, with its 4 speakers, it just blows away the competition because, well, this doesn't have 4 speakers. So even if you put it up to full volume, it's just not going to compare. So it just sounds so less. And don't get me wrong, the iPad Pro actually completely beats out the iPad Air's sound quality too. So it really just stands out. Overall, when it comes to these two tablets, I feel that there is a difference here. With the iPad Pro, you really can't use it without a keyboard. It's effectively worthless without one to me. It just doesn't seem like it's useful without a keyboard. The Galaxy Tab S2 is not a productive tablet without one, but it just feels like more portable, more easy to take around with you without needing a keyboard. However, both have the keyboard option. With Samsung having the better keyboard and Apple having the better stylus, it seems that overall for productivity, in terms of users that want to get Word documents and office work done or school work done, the Galaxy Tab S2 seems like the better way to go, whereas artists definitely would want to go with the iPad Pro for the Apple Pencil to really have a great design for that. And that's where you have to get one accessory for the iPad Pro, I feel, to really make it stand out. Whereas the Galaxy Tab S2 obviously is more similar to the iPad Air in terms of you can just have a regular tablet and be fine with it. But for this, it's a really specialty niche market that really only applies to some. Let me know which tablet you would rather have for productivity and why. Thank you for watching. This has been RICKY, the Android Guy.